Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Cigar Chat, brought to you live on CigarFederation.com. Broadcast around the world in the Armed Forces Radio Network. Thank you for tuning in wherever you are out there in the world today. Robbie Raz here with you as always. I say the exact same thing at the beginning of every show. Maybe one day I'm just going to completely change it up. But out here in sunny California, life is pretty good. I tried to destroy my computer by pouring a half-consumed root beer on it, and somehow survived, so I don't recommend that anybody does that. Made for quite an interesting day. Other than that, things are good. We got no Logan this week, so things keep getting better. John's sitting in up from gorgeous Canada. How's everything going on in Canada, John?
Good, man. It's a nice sunny day. You know, the birds are chirping. There's no rain this week, which is delightful. Maybe it's summertime. I'm excited to be sitting outside smoking and enjoying our cigar chat.
You've got long sleeves on, though.
Oh yeah.
So my wife was telling me yesterday was the longest day of the year, or 2 days ago.
Really?
I believe that's summer solstice.
Yeah, summer solstice, right?
Yeah, I don't know what that means. It's like that. For some reason, I start thinking like Midsummer Night's Dream with the summer solstice, like fairies are gonna come jumping around and stuff. I don't know what it means, but
most hours of sunlight in the day, I think, is what it means.
The winter solstice is November 22nd, 21st.
That's strong. That is strong solstice knowledge, man. That is strong stuff. Well, now that without
I read the Farmer's Almanac a lot. Trust me.
Is that right?
Yeah,
so,
it's a farm. Yeah.
Random Farmer's Almanac. My wife's step-grandfather, I guess would be the math on that, just recently turned 92. And we tracked down a Farmer's Almanac from the year that he was born, 19 whatever. Mm-hmm. It was, when it showed up, and it's still in good condition, it was pretty interesting to look at it. Not that I would really know the difference between a Farmer's Almanac from 1920 and one from now, but it was very interesting to look at. We also got this other thing. It was like a playbill from, I don't remember what play it was, but they had these different advertisements in there and stuff, like stuff that would never fly today, like best ways for your wife to clean the kitchen or some stuff like that. It's just like, come on, how could that have happened? But it did. Anyway, I digress. We've got Philip Zanghi here from Debonaire Cigars, live from the Dominican Republic. Thanks for taking the time to hang out with us, Phil.
Absolutely, the pleasure's all mine, honestly.
It's we got a chance to chat with you a little bit at IPCPR, and this is the first time we've had a chance to hook up since then, so it's good. I'm glad that we're gonna have a chance to talk. You've got cigars, you're making rum, you've got John and I here. We do our pairing show, so we're kind of chomping at the bit to get started here. Okay. This is the first time we've chatted with you. We kind of have a formula with the way that we do it here. So give us a little bit of your personal background. You were telling me offline. I mean, your background goes, you've been in this business for a while.
Yeah. I started in 1991 in Springfield, Massachusetts. My father and I was actually in California, and I met a gentleman named Nick DeLeone. He had the rights to the trademark Indian motorcycle. I was doing retail trades in Dana Point High. He gave me the rights for $1 to make T-shirts. So I started making Indian motorcycle T-shirts. I convinced my dad to put some money in, and right before I graduated high school, we moved out to Springfield, Mass, and started in right there with the Ridge on State Street where they do where the original motorcycles were made. We took the idea to bring the bike back. We got it very close, but during that same time, I met a guy named Raymond Guys that worked for U.S. Tobacco in Stamford, Connecticut, and started making Indian Tobacco Company, right? Indian Tobacco, and started making like those 4 sizes. It was the Chief, the TP, the Warrior, the Tomahawk, and the Arrow. And then I built that up for a while. My father and I split with the Indian motorcycle thing. He went buck wild and just didn't do the right thing. So then that kind of went weird. So I moved to Honduras, make a long story short, and started building up Indian tobacco. The boom came. That you're talking 91, 92, 93. By 94, 95, I'm living in Honduras in Donley full time, going back and forth to the States. My father ended up getting cancer. I hadn't spoken to him for a bunch of years. He robbed me about a bunch of money, like a lot of money, and destroyed the company. But he got cancer. I came back to meet with him. But by chance, he became a member of a club that wasn't open yet. I found a member called the Grand Havana Room in Beverly Hills. So, and also my brother-in-law's brother-in-law was the head chef of the Grand Havana Room. So I launched Indian there, got it going real good, had way more cigars than I could pay for to sell, put it that way. I couldn't even get the materials I needed because during that same period, U.S. Tobacco dropped me to concentrate on Astro and Don Tomas and dropped Nestor Miranda and also dropped the guys from Flor de Flores, which now has come back around and it's Oja. They make the thing out of
Oh, yeah.
Right, Willie and them. So that keeps going. The whole thing kind of gets strange, but then I start building up really well. Everything goes good. I meet a guy named Rocky Patel in the Grand Havana room. He invests some money with me. We become really good friends. We launch it. We start moving real good. I'm staying in Honduras half the time. Half the time I'm in California and across America on the road. I visited like 2 years myself, like 900 and something stores. Wow. I had no money left, so I had a Grand Wagoneer Limited I restored. And drove across America, built a humidor in the back of it, and just visited shops. I sold like 600 of those shops myself. I had an igloo cooler. It was like going to town and rip out of the yellow pages the tobacco stores.
Yeah.
You know, with cigarettes and candy really then, you know. So Thomas Guide and no GPS and getting lost and interesting. Yeah, but so then Rocky and I, we grew the company real good. I was down in Honduras more and more and more. He wanted to concentrate on a different path of more catalogs and such like that. I didn't really want to do that, so I resigned in 2001. I got in business with my partner now. His name's Daniel Sinclair of Duford Holdings, and he's the founder of Blunt Wrap USA. He has the patent on a homogenized product. It's called Blunt Wrap. It's a homogenized tobacco, make your own cigar kind of thing. We built that up real big. We moved to the Dominican Republic. We reinvested that money into with the company. It's not just me. It's a big conglomerate. He's the boss, you know. Into buying high-speed rod-making machines, which make like cigarillos. Mm-hmm. We got a bunch of great contracts for that. We worked on that for 5 years. We bought into another free zone that had an existing premium cigar factory on it. It was called CCE, Cigar Corporation Export. Now it's called De Los Reyes. The owner of that ended up getting the contract for Swisher to make him in the Dominican and machine maids. Mm-hmm. He left it kind of dormant. His daughter took over, Nilka Reyes, great girl. At the same time, I got in there and we said, okay, we're going to make Debonaire. So we made Debonaire House. We built Debonaire House Villas next door. We built a bunch of outbuildings. We got some bottling plant there to do the rum there that we're going to eventually do there. And I came up with a strategy or a structure, a defined purpose for Debonaire, which is an ideal. We don't make cigars anymore. We make reasons for people to enjoy their life. Be a better person tomorrow than you are today. Time spent smoking a Debonaire cannot be subtracted from one's life. This Debonaire Idealist, this year's term, I do a term every year. It's blessed stress, and it's also, from idea to ideal. And I came in really expensive, real niche. I don't even call it boutique. It's ultra boutique. I have to visit the store to sell to the store, and it's done real well. I'm in the top stores you want to be in the States right now, in the Northeast. I launched Texas this year. I'm the better stores there that really good backing, and so that's grown organically. I'm more of an evangelical salesman because if you can tell by now, I like to talk. I kind of humble myself by that because, you know what I mean? It's like I've done a lot of good things in my life. I've done a lot of crazy stuff. I've been around. I've seen this industry through the entire gradual growth, the peaks and troughs and all that stuff. But from the machine making and from making pipe, we bought House of Windsor in 2006, a pipe company that's really old. From all that, we also do primary, which is thrashing and cutting and flavoring and drying and all that. I learned a bunch of techniques, how to alchemize tobacco, which I have.
Did we lose him?
I think we might have lost him.
Oh, no, he was on a roll. I hope he'll come back.
He'll come back. Dominican internet.
That's true. He is. Phil was checking in from the Dominican, so hopefully, I'll shoot him a quick email here because he was rolling.
I think Phil needs a book deal just by the sounds of.
Seriously, right? I wish that I was a better writer than I am. Like I will write your story for you.
Because he went from working in the States, yada yada yada, down in Honduras, and I'm like, there's got to be like 2 chapters between those 2 stages right there. Yeah,
oh, there we go. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here, buddy. Go ahead.
Oh, we lost you there for a few seconds. I just sent you an email saying that might be it coming through. If we drop you, you can just click back on that link. Because, like I said, you are checking in from the Dominican, so if the internet
it just
drops,
started raining real hard.
Oh, it started raining. There you go. That happens. We get used to that up here in California. So where did John? What was the last thing that we heard?
What'd you say?
We're trying to figure out where we lost you. At one point, you dropped off from the video, so we couldn't hear you anymore. So
well, I'll go back to a bit there's idea to ideal and all that stuff, but basically how from doing pipe tobacco and doing machine maids and doing thrashing and primary and all that, I learned the technique. You use low temperature steam and distilled water to extract or to evaporate all the pesticide residue, heavy metals, fertilizer residue, ammonia, and what it leaves is the essential oil. And tobacco is notoriously low in essential oil. It's only 2 to 3%. So basically, I reduced the sauce by half. So what it does is it leaves what God intended to be on the cigar, the tobacco. So in the Habano, you get a real beefy taste, right? The core blends on the Habano and the Maduro are exactly the same in Debonaire, but with the Connecticut River Valley broadleaf I buy from the Foster Farms, it's the creme de la creme, and I cure it for about a year. I sweat it, naturally sweat it, and what that gives it's a real raisiny, real pectin taste, real deep, savory, kind of sweetness. And in the Habano, it's a beefy Havana 2000. So the blend is Havana 2000 from Nicaragua, the San Vicente binder from the Dominican Republic, Habano Huerta Bajo Reñe, Ligero from the Dominican from our farms, and they truly are our farms. The Habano Viso I get it from Nicaragua, from Jalapa, from one or two sources, but it's in the same region. It's in Jalapa and like Condega. It's mostly Jalapa on the backside of the valley. And then the Viso and the Seco I get from our farms is Habano Huerta Bajo, another Reñe. So the core blends are the same. Only thing is the wrapper is different, but they're absolutely drastically different cigars. Totally
I think the one that I smoked at IPCPR, I think that was the Habano. I think that's the one that I smoked. We were talking offline. I haven't had a chance to really get into them. I know Logan smoked them, and I don't think John's had a chance to smoke them either. So we're going to be. You'll see us at IPCPR. We definitely want to go get down there and spend some time. We want to talk about the rum too. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But so you're kind of breaking down the two different profiles. So you've got two different cigars, same blend, different wrapper.
Right. Yes, sir.
And those are the two main things that are on the market now.
Exactly.
And now you were saying that the stores, we talked about this a little bit when you were frozen up, but you need a book deal, man. You need somebody to come to take that look, because there was a lot of and then I was here, and then yada yada yada. I was living in Honduras. I feel like there was some interesting stuff in those yadas that could be expanded out. I'm listening to it, and it feels like a movie starring Johnny Depp. I don't know. That's just
I've had a blessed life. It's been I feel like the Guinea Forrest Gump sometimes, and I've just, for lack of not really caring or no fear involved, I just kind of put myself in situations. But I believe that everything's destined, and I'm a real applied faith guy. So I really believe in what I believe, you know what I mean? So, God's always placed me in the right place at the right time, where, the student will always find the teacher when the student's ready. I apprenticed under Nestor Plasencia. He's like my godfather. That guy taught me everything about the tobacco business. Another old man, Pedro Marti, he's dead now. He taught me how to blend. And old man Avelio. You can go through it. This is not BS. I've been around. I lived down there all those years. I would eat dinner with these guys every night. Old man Hiroa, Julio Roa, Christian was at my birthday party when I was 25. All these guys, Pete Pete Johnson's a great friend of mine. I knew him when he just would hang out at the Grand Havana Room. Of course, Rocky Patel, he got in the industry with me. Jonathan Drews is sleeping in my house in Honduras. He's my wedding. It's just.
I cannot even picture a conversation between you and Jonathan Drew.
I love him so much. You're out there, Johnny. I love you, and he knows it. We have. It's so fun. It's insanity personified. It is. It's great.
That's a good way to put it. And there's the title of your book, by the way, Insanity Personified. That's that kid. That's the title of the story. No, we love Jonathan. Jonathan's a good friend.
50 Cent stole my saying. Get rich or die trying. 50
Yeah.
Cent stole it from me.
Okay, so let's see. We got John. We got a bunch of audience questions. You want to start jumping right in with some of those?
Yeah, we got a pile of audience questions. So let's go from the top down. Number one question here, Phil from Harley Holmes. Harley always asks some good questions. He says, welcome to the show from someone who frequents Famoso Raceway, and he wants to know which blend pairs best with smoking tires and burning nitro.
I'd say the Maduro would be best.
Maduro?
Yeah.
It could power through some of those fumes that you're going to pick up when you're at the...
Exactly. It'll cut some of that, exhaust fume. It'll cut some of that, that smell that you're getting there. I'm a big car guy too, so I mean, I understand what he means totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I would smoke the Maduro on the racetrack. A Maduro and a Robusto size.
There, that's been nice and specific. We like it like that. Yeah, Steve's a good guy. I like Harley Holmes a lot. Actually, this is kind of a side note, but Steve was up recently. He brought his brother. Steve's Harley Holmes, the guy who asked the question. Was up in the Bay Area recently. Brought his brother to a San Francisco Giants game. I worked for the team, so afterwards we met up. I brought him back to my house. My wife did a barbecue. We hung out and had some cigars and had some beers and everything. And he sent me a nice little gift in the mail. He sent me some really, really good saltwater taffy. And somehow he knew that saltwater taffy is like that's how you get me. And there was this, it's from Dewar's, and I was thinking Dewar's Scotch, but it's Dewar's Candy Company in
New Jersey?
No. Well, they may be in New Jersey. The one that he sent me from was from Bakersfield, California. But they've got a peanut butter one. It's like a nougat flavor on the outside with peanut butter inside. Forget about it. I think those are all gone.
That sounds real good.
Oh, I like nougat. I like the nougaty kind of flavor, and that's really what it tasted like. It was, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to check out some more of that. So appreciate Steve sending those over. Let's see. Let's keep going through some of these questions. So we've got one here. This one's from Scott Wilson. Shooter is a big member of the community on Cigar Federation, so we appreciate everything Shooter does for us. It says I'll start over. You describe your cigars as being ultra premium. What do you feel makes your product ultra premium versus just premium? And you even mentioned earlier is ultra. What did you said? Ultra boutique. So you're kind of taking some of these terms that in this industry specifically those ultra or premium gets thrown around a lot, and boutique gets thrown around a lot. So we're to the point where they almost even have meaning anymore. But you referenced ultra premium, and ultra boutique. What does that mean to you?
Because I believe it's vocation driven. It's not like a hobby. I even sort my fillers.
You're down there doing the sorting, huh?
And I'm there every day. This is where I live. I mean, it's not like a hobby. I don't come down, 4 weeks out of the year. God bless anyone who wants to be in this industry, but I always felt you make your money where the money's made, and the money is made at the actual manufacturing level. So, I mean, you look at Henry Ford, you look at Andrew Carnegie, you look at, Walter Chrysler. They were on the factory floor almost every day. Vanderbilt, you know what I mean? Rockefeller. I mean, he was watching them drill the wells. So, I mean, you got to look at it that way. So that's where I think the ultra premium comes from, is that I put ultra attention to detail. And from that, it speaks in the product, So, I mean, I watch all my productions being made. So if it's bad, I actually like critique when I do praise. If something is wrong and if you don't believe it's ultra premium, please tell me so I can make it or make you believe it is ultra premium. When you say that you live down there and to hear you say that you've been in there sorting fillers doesn't surprise me. You don't come across as a half-ass kind of guy at all in any part of your life. So you come forward with. I humbly try. I'm not better than anybody, but I'm not worse than anybody. And I've emulated some of the gentlemen in our industry that are like, that's sensitive. People like that. That's the hardest working man in the industry. He's up at 5 in the morning. He's in helicopters. He's in Land Cruisers. He's going to see the farms. I mean, you just got to. This industry is very, very crucial at the manufacturing point. But it's not just the curing is crucial. The growing is crucial. The seed selection is crucial. How you do the seed beds is really important. But even how you pick the packaging and how they're sorting it, and how you extract the ammonia from your humidification room, and I mean the water you're using, and the filter systems, the HEPAs, and I mean I take it serious. I look at it scientific, man. I mean, it's like this is I feed my kids with. You know, it's, as I say, to not be long-winded. It's not a lifestyle to me. This is a vocation, like a priest or a doctor. You know.
I love it. And this is radio. You are absolutely okay being long-winded. We support that absolutely. Yeah, no. Just to go down, we just got back recently from our. We did a cigar safari trip for our Cigar Federation members. It was just for our members, and that's the second time that I've been lucky enough to be invited down, and to really see all the stuff that you're talking about that goes into. We were talking offline. You talk about 250 hands or whatever it is that touch your cigars before you actually get them in your hands. You don't. I mean, you hear that number, yeah, whatever it is, what it is. You don't really appreciate it until you walk through those rooms and you see the people that are working to make this product. I mean, there's some cigars in the industry that are good, and there's some that don't necessarily mesh with my profile, my flavor profile, my palate. But I don't think there's any bad cigars. I don't think there's any cigars that people don't work hard to make. I mean, maybe there are, and I just don't know about them. But to see the amount of effort that goes into making any cigar, and then see some cigars on the market that are, you know, less than like $7 or $8, it just blows me away that that's even possible. So when people start complaining about price points, like look how much goes into making one cigar.
Yeah.
And you can really take an appreciation from that.
That's the only critique I really get is my price point. But I tell people, you know, when people come into the humidor and they ask what the new best thing is, what the new thing is, and these guys are really behind me, the store owners, I just tell them, hey, you show them my stuff. If you do me a 90-day favor, you know, anything like Andrew Carnegie said, there's no such thing as a 5-year plan. There's a 90-day plan, and there's a 25-year plan, because you can pretty much almost change anything in 90 days. In 25 years, you can change the world. So I just tell them, hey, when they hand it to them, say, well, that's expensive. You know, it's kind of pricey. Say, well, you asked me for the best cigar we got right now, not the best price. And then if they go a little bit more, say, you know what, when's the last time you went on a $14 vacation? When is it? I don't ever, this doesn't exist, but it does now. You're looking at an hour and a half of pure bliss, enjoying your time. You know, what do you make an hour? That's kind of a personal question. No, I'm not asking you really what you make an hour, but I know you make more than $14, right? So I'm saying you just got a deal, you know. And I'm telling you, a lot of times they take it and they enjoy it. But my thing is also comes in the classification of a occasion cigar. You know, I don't really. I'd love to be your favorite cigar, but I like it to be your cigar you smoke when you really want to smoke something that you enjoy, that you want to savor. Like, you know, when you go out and you save up money to go to, you know, Morton, so you go to the Del Frisco's. I mean, you can go to Outback and they get a good cut of meat. It's tasty. You go to the local diner and get a good sandwich, you know. But, I mean, you save up to go out with your wife to whatever you consider a great restaurant, you know. I want to be considered that great restaurant, you know. And it seemed to work well, you know. But, see, I came in on the whole other side. I came in ultra premium, super expensive, super, like, exclusive. So now that I'm bringing out my new, I got my old brand back, Indian Tobacco, which is now Indian Motorcycle Ultra Premium. It's $6 to $8 range. So that's for the masses. But same quality profile, you know. It's in Havana from Ecuador. It's in a broadleaf from Connecticut, right? It's Dominican fillers and Central American fillers, you know, the Lieto, the Viso, the Seco. I do the whole 9 yards. I believe in all 3 parts of the plant and that kind of stuff. Same farm, same thing. And now you can get a piece of the Debonaire Ideal when you don't want to spend that occasion money, when you want to spend the everyday money. So I tested the waters in the hard seas. Now I'm in the bay.
Now we're just hanging out, chilling. No, that's great.
Anchor. I'm sitting there like, you know, in 48 hours, looking good, Lewis, feeling good, Billy Ray. You know?
I love it. I love that, man. That's funny. That's Trading Places for those.
Of course,
who don't.
sorry.
For those of you who don't know, if you don't know, shame on you.
I dated myself, yeah.
No, you're not. That's a classic, timeless film. It's still. I mean, I'm getting off on this tangent. There's movies. I'm a big movie guy, and there's movies that go back and they still they aged well. You know, a movie that has aged well. The original Psycho. Go back and watch the original Psycho. outside of, you know, the little things when she's, you know, she's buying the car and everything and all that. There's a little bit of difference there, but Anthony, or who was it? Who was the guy who played him? I want to say Anthony Hopkins, but that's not it.
No,
it's Anthony something though, right?
No, yes, it's
Anyway, go back and look at his performance from that movie, and I know we're on a big tangent. It's still creepy. That one scene when they're in the back and he's got all the taxidermy on the walls, and just the way he's talking to her.
Weird.
Oh God!
You know how they made her scream in the shower? You know the story, Hitchcock?
I've watched the thing, the making of, because my wife bought me for my birthday or something a Blu-ray collection of some Hitchcock classics, and that one is on there, and we watched all the extra scenes. But go ahead, tell me the story, because I don't remember it.
You got her in there, and they put cold, freezing water. So when you hit her, she
It's you go back and you watch it, the subtlety of the way that the stories are told I don't know, just that basic fear in that particular story. And everybody talks about that scene, and you know, when he kills her and everything. That doesn't happen for, like, I don't know, 3/4 of the movie.
Right. So, no, but the build-up. He was genius on that. He was genius on the build-up.
Just unbelievable. We're way off topic now. You threw me off with, I don't know how we went from Trading Places to Psycho, but we did. And I had a point that I was going to make. John, jump in, because I'm floundering at this point. I know we've got more questions.
We had like a million questions.
Sorry, and I cut you off again. Sorry, John. I'll buy you a drink when we're down in New Orleans.
Roger that. So I'm going to jump in here. Got a question from Joe Gutt, and Joe comments that he thinks it's great you put the box date on the band. He wants to know what made you decide to do that, and what does outstanding quality control mean to you?
Anthony Perkins, but
Perkins, thank you.
Yeah. The reason why, actually, I can't take credit for that at all. Really, my partner said, you know what, Phil, we're working on this FDA stuff with the machine-made stuff, and we got to do everything, this date coding and this stuff. Let's just stamp the inside of the band with the day it's packed, so then we can have traceability, but also it makes it almost a limited edition thing. And I said, well, then it also makes it collectible. So we just did it, and it's in Spanish, so you say enero, E-N-E, it means January, right? So it's not the day it was rolled, it's the day it's packed. So on the Havana, you can go back minimum 90 days, right? And then on the Havana, you can go back a minimum of 6 months. And they've done that kind of stuff in Cuba before a long time ago, but I don't know anyone who does it. No one.
I don't think there is anybody who does that.
But in the end, it made it collectible, because I even have guys now, and I'm not saying I'm whatever. I'm doing okay. And it started out with 5 guys who show up to an event. Now it's like 25, 30, some. And it started to sell boxes when I was selling singles. But these guys come, look, I got 2012. I got like a 2000 something, you know? And it's like 2012 was when I had them packed. I didn't even ship them till like 13, you know?
That's cool.
Because it was like, you know, so it's like those are like the Solomons were the first ones I made, and people seem to really like it. It's just another extra touch, you know, to make it mean something more, to show the ultra premium thing, one more step, you know.
And especially in this industry, or at least that I've noticed, and maybe this is common in other industries that I'm not familiar with, but people go nuts over stuff like that. They want to be the first. They want to be the look. I smoked this. This was in 2012. I've been there since the beginning. They want to be. Everybody wants to be that guy. So and you're just giving them another way to do that. That's really cool. I wanted to jump in and talk about Indian tobacco, because we touched on it, and you said, you know, it's in that $7 to $8 price range, I think is what you said.
Yeah, 6 to 8.
6 to 8. Okay, yeah, perfect. So, and that's coming out soon, yeah.
I'll be launching that at the IPCPR, which used to be the RTDA, and it came really good. I got back with the Indian Motorcycle People, which is owned by Polaris now. So basically, it's my dream come true, because it's the actual functioning Indian motorcycle company making motorcycles in America again, selling to American people, a quality product. It's out of Minnesota. These are great people. These are the snowmobile guys. These are the Razor guys. Okay. This is a real motor company. And basically, they told me that they weren't really interested in doing Indian tobacco again, but they wanted to do something Indian motorcycle tobacco, cigar-wise. So I came up with Indian motorcycle ultra premium, super attention to detail, great pricing, super slick packaging, Americana at its finest, and it will tie into the Debonaire, because Debonaire is a turn of the century. If you see the boxes, if anyone out there sees them, you know there's no sizes on it. There's no name on the box. It's an inside lip cover of a line drawn by a graphic novelist. It's real clean, black and white. So what I did that purposely is because when somebody comes into the humidor and goes, "What's that?" they now engage the salesman.
Yeah.
So the salesman go, "Oh, you never seen that? Oh, that's Debonaire. Oh, what is that? Oh, what size is that? Oh, that's a Robusto." And he can explain everything. Instead of go, "Okay, 50 by 5 by 50, Robusto. Okay, this is the name of it. This is what." So if they don't even, they're gonna go, "Okay, I don't know that. I never heard of that. I'm gonna go with this." What I always get. It might just give them that extra moment in time, that extra, suspension of reality for that second. They might be able to buy it. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I love the fact that every detail for you is of supreme importance.
Yeah.
And maybe that
thing. I know you don't know me from Adam, but I'm this hyper. I'm this fired up all the time. Yeah.
No, I knew what to expect. Like I said, we did get a chance to speak with you at IBCPR. I know Logan did the interview. I kind of just hung back and watched. So I stretched before we came on the show. I was ready for it. I knew you were going to come fast and furious, so that's good. But no, when you go back to that kind of ultra premium feel, like every detail, everything is inspected and has a purpose, and that's those two ideas really do tie in together. And just remind our audience, you're listening to Cigar Chat, brought to you live on CigarFederation.com, broadcast around the world in the Armed Forces Radio Network. We're here with Phil Zanghi from Debonaire Cigars. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are out there in the world today. I've been giving John a hard time, so I'm going to let him run with a few questions here. John, you're up.
Man, we got a ton of questions, so let me just scroll up because there was a really good question halfway down that I really, really liked. And this is sort of along the lines of our show, what you do for sharing our pairings. And I know we're looking at the Debonaire rum line. We haven't really talked about that right now, but Garen Fry wants to know that being Debonaire makes both rum and cigars, have you designed any of the rum or any of the cigars to be blended or paired with each other? Is that gone into any of the design of either of those?
I mean, yeah. I mean, absolutely. All the lines. I mean, from the 5 up to about the 8, getting into the the 5 and the 8, you get up into the 15s. You're looking at more of the Habanos. And then when you get up into the 15 to the 21, those are more you can mix with the Maduros. Got a little more fat to it, The macerated ones, they're more to be like an after dinner and to be smoked with both, Any ring gauge, any size. I mean, they're kind of blended. Rum goes good with any cigar, honestly.
Absolutely.
We're starting to learn that, yeah.
It's a sugar-based product. It's a caramel. It's aged in bourbon barrels, so you're going to get some vanillin. Some have a more of a bite on the burn on the throat. Some of them have more of a smooth go down in the belly burn. And I mean, it's very subjective. I mean, people ask you, well, people. I've heard so much stuff. What's the best cigar in the world, right? And the guy in the store will go, the one that sells the best. What's the best cigar in the world? The one you like the best. I mean, there is no best. There isn't any best. What's the norm? Normal is a setting on your washing machine. That's it. I mean, you got to look at things. I look outside the box. The box came in. So I'm just trying to make a really good product for people, that they enjoy. And if you don't enjoy it, I'm sorry. You'll find something else you'll enjoy. I mean, you can't please everyone, but I try to get a semblance of a quality profile. And then with the rum, with the mixture of the same cigar, you're going to get maybe a pride thing or a semblance or an organizational feel, because it's the same product, but it's different, but it's together, and it's the ideal thing, It's kind of it's a luxury brand. I'm trying to build a luxury brand with the Debonaire. The Indian motorcycle, we got back to that. The box is Indian, giant headdress, the logo 1901, America's first motorcycle. So it's known. You understand? It's a trophy trademark. It's Americana. It's the first bike in America. It's one in the top most recognizable trademarks in the world still to this day. It's Ford, it's Chevy, it's Bugatti. It's known. You know what I mean? So when people see that ties on the strings of Americana, which I'm a very, very proud American. I'm a very, very patriotic American. Just because I live overseas doesn't mean 4th of July, man, I don't ever work. I'm cooking ribs. I'm making potato salad, eating corn on the cob. I mean, they have fireworks around here. I'll get my hands on something. You know what I mean? But that's what it is. Same with the rum. It's a quality profile thing. It's try to make the best you can make, you know, and try to give somebody a great product that they're happy to spend their money about, you know. And I mean, I see that it lacks in a lot of things out there these days, you know. I mean,
yeah, that's a good point.
A lot of stuff, you know. I mean, I can just babble, man, but it's just I see a lot of. Remember, I'm the guy on the road now. There's no salesman. I have no reps. I got nobody. I got one guy that helps me out in California. You know, it's me.
So you do everything. It's all 100% in-house, and it's you.
Exactly. That's the only way to do in the beginning, because who knows better than I?
That's a good point.
And when you go to a restaurant and there's some problem, who do you talk to? The owner.
Yeah.
You ever been to a good restaurant and the owner comes out, hey man, is that food good? Even if it wasn't spectacular, it became spectacular because the owner of the restaurant himself came and said hello to you and your wife and made you feel good and gave you an extra thing of bread or something. Really feel good.
It's the small touches. You're right. Just to give everybody a little bit of background, the Debonaire rum. Let's see, I've got it pulled up. You go to debonairerum.com is the website. You can get all the information about the rum and the cigars. There's the Debonaire 5-year-old, 8-year-old, 15, 21, and then there's Debonaire honey rum and coffee rum. I'm really intrigued by the coffee rum. Not available in the States just yet. But I know it's available in Europe and some other places, but you're working on getting it available in the States. That's what we were talking about offline. So.
Yes, sir.
And Matt Ross just wants to remind everyone that Debonaire Cigars is the cigar of the month picked by the Federation, the Federation community as the cigar of the month for June.
Oh, that's right. So the way the cigar of the month works, we have some members who run it. It's Dave Nichols, I believe, started. I think he still runs it. And every month, they pick a particular cigar, and everybody in the group who has that cigar will smoke it. They'll post some pictures, and they'll post their thoughts about it. So there's an ongoing thread about Debonaire cigars this month. So that's really cool.
Thank you, everyone, first off, and I hope you enjoy them.
Yeah, so far it seems like everybody really is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, they're all proving you right. It's good. It's good.
That's nice.
So you're talking about the rum. Now I'll put you on the spot a little bit because it's definitely not available here in the States yet. Do you have any kind of ETA on that, or is it something that's still in the works, in the process?
I mean, it's 6 to 8 months, a year maybe, hopefully less, but it's almost becoming like Pappy Van Winkle thing, you know?
You don't lie. You're doing this on purpose. You're doing it on purpose, and it's working great.
All things are for a reason. I mean, maybe the best thing was it be installed, you know, because now, I mean, I bring some with me sometimes, and I'll do events and I'll pour it, and people dig it. Maybe because it's me, but then I get some guys that are real rum guys who are like, this is awesome, this is great, man. You know, I can't wait to get it, and I think that it'll definitely help cigar sales. I think that I think it'll get into like some great markets. They say the segment of liquor right now, the most growth that they're seeing is in rum. Because you know, vodka had its day, the tequila had its day, you know, the bourbons is killing it. But the rum thing, a premium rum, everybody, you say, what kind of rum you like? Bacardi. I mean, they really don't know about rum.
It's true.
That's it. That's the king. It's the Budweiser, man. It's so big, those guys, that it's like, because of the rum and coke and then the speed wells and the hotels and the bars, that's what it comes out.
It's true.
You know, I mean, I kind of study it. I just don't want to bring it out and just half butt. You know what I mean? I just don't want to do that.
You want to have something that's at the top of the market. It's funny, and I try to explain to people that, because I've been getting into rum for the past year or so, and when I explain that to people, I said, no, it's an aged rum. Like, oh, like Bacardi Dark? Like, well, no, not like that at all. I mean, these are aged rums, and they don't all just come from Puerto Rico. I mean, they come from all over the place, you know. So I can see how that's one of the fastest growing markets. It's a market that not a lot of people really knew about it. I've turned, even my mother-in-law, she calls it sipping rum, but I've turned my mother-in-law onto aged rum, and it's there's a lot of people who just don't know that it exists, and it's
Flor de Caña, you were in Nicaragua. That's some good stuff.
What's that?
Flor de Caña.
Oh yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, the Flor de Caña, we've talked about Flor de Caña a lot. The Ronzacapa, those are the main ones. Diplomatico from Venezuela, we talked about that one a lot too. So yeah, definitely looking forward to the day when we can get some Debonaire rum. on the show. I think we may have lost Phil again.
Maybe we'll get a chance at the IPCPR. I mean,
Yeah.
we'll keep the fingers crossed.
We'll hang out in front of the booth until the rum shows up. But no, yeah, Phil definitely froze up. And John, he just fell off. He's gonna come back. And while we're working on getting Phil back, tell me about the flag that's behind you.
So I like to switch the flags out because I think people are sick and tired of seeing a window reflection. It's kind of boring. So this is the you guys have state flags, of course. We have provincial flags, and I like my province, Alberta. It's a nice province. We got a lot to talk about. So this is the provincial flag of Alberta. I was kind of moving my head out, and you can see we've got the mountains, we've got the lakes, we've got wheat. There probably should be a bison or a cow on there because that's a big part of our province. But I just figured it'd add some nice color to the background instead of just the back of my head being reflected on the glass.
No, yeah, definitely appreciate that. Then Phil's back. That's good. Oh,
no idea.
No, you John pressed a button or something. I don't know. But no, we were just talking about. We just finished talking about rum, yeah. I mean, you mentioned Florida Cagna, and there are a few others that we've talked about. So we're definitely looking forward to trying the Debonaire rum.
It'll be at the show. I got at the booth. You'll be there.
Okay, perfect. Like I was telling John, we'll camp out in front of the booth until it shows up. So
it's going to be a big old booth. It's going to be a big giant booth. And
you're gonna get sick of us though, man. We're gonna show up every day. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we're going to show up every day for some of that rum. It's going to happen.
Come hang out. The cigars are good too. You can have a good time.
Yeah, I hear the cigars are great. The cigars are good. Let's get back on the cigars, John. We got more cigar questions.
We got a ton. Here's a good question from Jeff because Phil, you're talking about. I mean, you've got your hand in every single level of the business, from sorting tobacco all the way up the vertical stream there. So Jeff wants to know, what do you enjoy most about manufacturing cigars? Then, of course, the reverse of that is, what do you find for you is the least enjoyable thing for you?
The most enjoyable part, I think, is the farming aspect, the growing, the seeing it go from seed to plant, and to see all the way in the end. The best way to explain that question easily is that, okay, we take it, we get a seed, we sort those seeds, we put them in a seed bed, we grow it, we wait about 90 days to the last pick, we hang in the barn for about 30 to 60 days, then you put it in a pile for about 6 months, 8 months, a year, up to 2 years if you really want to do it that way. Then you take it, then you sort it again, then you grade it, then you take the vein out of it and the wrapper and the binder, then you sort through the fillers, and you roll a cigar, then you put it in a press, wait 12 hours, put it, and you give it to another guy, he rolls it, you give it to a girl, she sorts it, you bring it downstairs, they put it in an aging room, you wait another 6 to 8 months, you take it out, you sort through it again, you put it in packaging, nice band, nice box, send it to the world, some guy walks in the store, he buys it, and what does he do in the end with it? He lights it on fire. That's the worst part of it. All that hard work goes up in smoke. But the best part of that is that the enjoyment that the people that get that cigar get out of it is smoking it, enjoying it. And the other plus of that is you got to get more. So, once it's gone, the guy ever can take the ash and make it back into a full cigar again, I'm going to have to find him and talk to him real seriously, But that's the thing, is the beauty of it is growing. The manufacturing is the beauty part. I mean, people say, the sales and the grind and the industry's with it's rife or it's plagued with cutthroats. Any industry is, man. That's why I thought, it is what it is. Wherever there's money in anything, it's going to be that way. But I try to bring it up to a point where the Debonaire ideal is just try to make a great partnership, not a client. Somehow become a friend to these guys and have them, this is the Dale Carnegie aspect, that's truth that people don't get, he's famous. If you're interested in other people, they will be interested in you. Don't think they're going to be interested in you. Don't try to draw their interest, because then they're going to think you're full of crap and they're not going to want to talk to you. But if you talk to them and ask them how they're doing, what do they like, then in turn they're going to say, this is a nice guy, I wonder what he's up to. Then they're going to ask you what you're up to. Then you have an in. But it's a good in. It's a true in.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's not that fake, hey, buddy, how you doing? You're shaking his hand. You're looking at the guy coming behind him to see if he's a better deal. You know? That's what it is. And I don't see anything bad in our industry. I really don't, because there's the seed of solution is found in every problem. And I mean, to be concentrated on the negative, I'd be done a long time ago, man. I've had it. I've been through it. I've had it. I've gone through it, but I'm a better man for it. What am I going to do? I quit drinking 10 years ago. Yeah, I was an alcoholic. I'm not anymore, but I'm recovering. I mean, you grow in life. You don't stifle yourself by that. And that's one thing at the Debonaire House. We're always trying to do something creative and inventive and better. Not just slick packaging, a pig in a silk hat. No, I want the product without a band on it to stand on its own. And then put in something beautiful and up the game. And do something unique. Do something authentic. That's what people want. I studied it for 8 years when I was out of the game of the premium. Where was the hole? You had all the guys, the JDs, the Pete's, awesome people. Cool. They got their niche. They did something amazing. They reset the industry. Then you had the old school, you know, with big brands, the big monsters, the Swiss people, the real big guys, right? But then who did you have? What's in the middle? That nebulous cloud of gray area. Of where's the debonair guy? Where's the young distinguished? Where's the movie fan? Where's the guy that can talk on any subject? Where's the spiritual guy? Where's the guy that just likes people? Where's the guy that's not negative anytime? Where, you know, okay, the guy bought 3 boxes. Thank you. You know, good. I mean, you opened an account. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, yeah, oh, you're doing well on the other side, Phil, and everything's going good. Yeah, that just got free. I just found that. Someone just gave that to me. You know what I mean? I mean, I'd put the same effect. You make good stuff, people buy it, you know. If you chase money, you'll never catch it. If you chase success, now that's a different thing. If you make something good and quality, what happens? People buy it. And what happens when people buy things? You get money. Hence, success. And wealth, not richness. I mean, I can go on and on. It's just the way it is.
Now, I want to ask you, you strike me as a guy who's pretty well-read.
I try to be.
I get that feeling. I get the feeling you like autobiographies, too.
I love it.
So what's your favorite autobiography? You could recommend one autobiography that really impacted you. And I'm sure there's several, but what's the one that really impacted you the most?
I don't think it's an autobiography, but the one that impacted me, it's Andrew Carnegie's theory on how to do business and be a good man. It's you know, there's the Master Key to Riches, which is I think it's Napoleon Hill. That was Andrew Carnegie's scribe, you know. And the Master Key to Riches, there's also the Think and Grow Rich. That's his other pinnacle work. Okay. Then you got Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, The Power of Positive Thinking. That's another amazing. These are all 30s guys, you know. Yeah. And you got Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. But I mean, really, the pinnacle one for me that changed my whole game was the Master Key to Riches by Napoleon Hill. It's the quintessential guide of how to be successful and be a good man in the same process. You know? Okay.
Yeah, no.
I suggest that you can buy it on audio tape, or what they still call it audio tape, and we'd have it on tapes and on hello. But it's something so special, man. It's all about the cosmic habit force, you know, and hypnotic rhythms and these things that are so new agey that you hear them. But this guy's like 29.
Yeah. That's funny when you think about it.
No, it applies more to today than it did then.
Huh. That's interesting. No, I've heard of the title, but I've never read it. And I'm a big audiobook guy. Especially during baseball season, I spend driving. I work from home. I'm lucky enough to work from home. I run my own business, so I don't travel a lot in the car. Baseball season, I'm at the ballpark every day when there's games, so I do a lot of time in the car. That's when I do my audiobooks. That's a good idea. Anyway, John, we can get back to the point of the show. I just wanted to ask that question.
Thank you for that.
All right, good question from Jason Raybuck. So, with the theme of the Indian brand being Americana, pardon me, do you see the Indian tobacco brand using American tobacco?
I do. I use Connecticut River Valley Broadleaf on the Maduro, and subsequently the farm is maybe 20 miles from the home of Indian, from Springfield, Mass. Wow. So yes, I use some American tobacco. Yeah.
It's about as American as it gets, right?
You can't get it. I mean, yeah.
So there's another question here in reference to the Indian Ultra Premium. It says with both this is from Garen Fry. It says with both Debonaire core lines, the core line and the Maduro have a limited edition Vitola. It says, can we expect to see something similar in the Indian Motorcycle Ultra Premium cigar?
Yeah, we're making this one here is one of them. We're making a 58 by 6. We're making a classic, Churchill. We're making a classic Robusto and a classic Toro.
Okay.
The sizes everybody seems to like, it's not a run of the mill, but it's across the boards of what people want. I'll probably bring out later some Figurado or something special, but I'm going with those core sizes that people would like.
They're core sizes for a reason.
There is, because it just is what it is. I mean, you don't buck the system, and it is what it is. Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, people have enjoyed them for hundreds of years, so well, I don't know how many years. I'm throwing that number out.
Hundreds, yeah.
Hundreds, yeah. Okay, good. That was a good guess on my part. All right, John, jump in. We've got time for a couple more questions?
We got a couple more. So, Garen Fry, another question from Garen Fry says, it goes without saying that you take a lot of pride and believe in the product that you release. So, for you, Phil, who are the top 2 people? I think you might have already mentioned this. Top 2 people that you respect the most, and the work that they put in the industry.
There's a bunch, but okay, I'd say in the actual cigar sales industry, like the people out there that are of, Johnny Drew, number 1, amazing cat. Pete Johnson, another great guy, does some really amazing work. In the actual industry, the core industry, Nestor Plasencia is amazing. And the guy that I worked with for the last 10 years named Leo Reyes, that's our grower here. He took on the entire Debonaire Ideal, the alchemy thing. This old man works tirelessly to make better tobacco. And I think we're producing, to not blow our own horn, the best tobacco in the Dominican Republic right now, leaf-wise. No one. It's known fact. The old man is amazing. I got to give in the sales side and the retail or the marketing, and Johnny Drew, it's everyone knows that you can't compete with that cat. He's on a whole nother level. I personally like Pete Johnson cigars, but that's like the one I go for after my own, and I think Pete does a really bang up job. Those 2 in the industry, I can think I give them the kudos the most. When I look at the guys like the Nestor and Leo, and there's a bunch of other guys out there, growers and stuff, that do amazing jobs, but those 2 have been integral in really helping me,
Fantastic. I'll sneak one more in here. At left field question from Rich Sherman. Rich wants to know, can you talk about the Masonic influence in your cigars?
Yeah, I got to do my work still. I've been accepted. I went through the whole test of Black Ball and all that. The 33rd is the new one that's coming out. That's a limited edition of Debonaire this year. It's the highest degree. It's an A. It's a 50 by 9. And the first degree is how you get in. If all Masons know, the first degree is what you really start doing to become a Mason. So the first degree is the little cigar I make. That's how you get in. The second size in the Debonaire is called Saguita. It's a Petit Lancero. That means arrow in Latin. It points the way. So then you got your Robusto, you got your Toro, and then your Bellicoso. So the first degree is how you get in. You start to understand what Debonaire Ideal is and become an idealist. Then you start smoking Saguita. It points you the rest of the way. Then you get your other sizes. You work your way up the line.
Time for one more? No?
Let's pick a good one here. We got a lot of questions here. You know what? Here's a good question from Douglas Shepard. Kind of ties back to the Carnegie. So you brought it up, and where do you see Debonaire cigar from 25 years from now?
I'm trying to personally make the best cigar ever made by man, and I don't know if I'll reach that pinnacle, but I'm diligently, tirelessly trying to make that. I see Debonaire as a luxury brand encompassing tobacco, spirits, clothing, luggage, maybe some fragrance. I don't know. I'm just going to try to do it all. Maybe I want to make a car, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll buy a planet. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm just trying.
I want to buy the moon. No, yeah. I love it. That's to have. I mean, like it was the Air Force's aim high, or it used to be anyway. I mean, to have, if you have those high goals, you've got a good drive. You've got a great personality. You've got a lot of energy in the way that you talk about your product. It's addicting to talk to someone who's very excited about what they're doing. It gets you excited.
Thank you.
So it's been a lot of fun chatting with you, Phil. Real quick, we've got a few minutes here, or a few seconds actually. Let everybody know before we wrap up our Armed Forces Radio segment where they can find you guys online. Website, Facebook, Instagram, all that.
You can find me at Phil Zanghi on Facebook. You can find me at Debonaire on Facebook, Debonaire Cigars. Also online at www.debonairehouse, Debonaire Cigars, or Debonaire Rum.
Okay, great. So you guys are everywhere. So that's good. You can find them Debonaire, pretty much everything, all over online.
Debonaire Phil on Instagram, Debonaire, whatever, yeah. With the E. Debonaire with an E.
Debonaire.
You got it.
And guys, thanks again for tuning in to another Cigar Chat. Really do appreciate it. We're going to be back next week with Fratello Cigars, another company who has a cigar, and he's got coffee going with that as well. I think we touched on that a little bit earlier. Maybe that was the other show that we did today, John.
Yeah, that was the other show.
I'm actually getting them confused. We did an interview earlier today that we were talking about that too. So that'll be interesting, and they've got a new release coming out as well. So we'll be back on Thursday next week with Fratello Cigars. Phil, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Really do appreciate it. Everybody out there in the Armed Forces, thank you so much for everything that you guys do. I say it all the time that you guys you're built to do stuff that I'm not built to do. So thank you so much for putting your safety, putting our freedom ahead of your safety. We do appreciate everything you guys do.
Can I just add? I want to thank everyone out there that helps us and serves in the military. Thank you very much for securing the American way. Thank you, and God bless you, and be safe.
Absolutely. And on that note, everybody have a great week. Everybody stay safe, and we'll catch you next week. All right, and we're back. We're still live. Now, this is where Logan would go on a tirade of cursing, but I tend to. John, you can fill in if you want.
No, we're gonna keep it classy.
We'll keep it. We're gonna
keep it classy.
We're gonna keep it classy tonight. So we're still Phil, just so you know, we're still live. People can still see us, and our podcast listeners, of which they come out in droves. The podcast listeners we've finally started to recognize our podcast listener base. I don't know what took us so long. But when we do our podcast giveaways, which we'll do one in a little bit, and John, are you going to do a keyword again?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things, Phil, that Rob was saying, our podcast listeners are through the roof. So there's a lot of guys who, they got families or got things going on in the evening, so they don't necessarily watch the show live. They get to listen to the show, when they're enjoying a Debonaire cigar, hopefully, and they listen to the show, and there's a lot of interaction. So we're going to do another phrase that pays. So you have to listen to the podcast. There's going to be a phrase that pays. You're going to email that phrase that pays to rob@cigarfederation.com. Very important to have that phrase in the email. If you don't have that phrase, you're not going to have a chance to win. Of course, make sure to include your address and your name so that Rob can send the cigars to you. Remember, phrase that pays in the body of the email. If you don't have it there, it's too bad for you, my friends.
No, you need to have the actual phrase, not the term phrase that pays, the actual phrase. And no, it's funny, we just started doing this, and I had a lot of guys email me that just said, hey, phrase that pays, here's my thing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, there was a phrase that we plugged in. So
right.
there was some confusion, so we want to make it crystal clear. But yeah, no, we've been, our podcast listenership has grown. I mean, we've got guys in Norway listening to our podcast, and my family, I've got family from Norway. My father's father was from Norway. So that's my people up there.
Yeah.
So no, and all over the world, it is kind of amazing when you step back and you stop looking at just analytics and realize where people are from and what they're how they found us. It is kind of exciting. So we're definitely going to give away. What are we going to do? 3 podcast winners? We'll do 2 or 3 podcast winners depending on what we've got. We're going to pick 3 folks who ask good questions, John. And that was I'm putting you on the spot. You're going to pick the guys who ask good questions.
And I think I got them. You ready to make that call right now?
Yeah, go ahead. You make it, and I'll pick the randoms. I'm picking 3 random winners.
All right, so the 3 winners for asking questions, Joe Gutt. Joe asked a really good question. He's one of our winners. So, Joe, make sure to email your address and pertinent information to rob@cigarfederation.com. Jeff Madre. Jeff, again, same thing. Make sure to email your personal info. And Rich Sherman. He asked a really great question about the Masons. So, Joe Gutt, Jeff Madre, and Rich Sherman. Make sure to email your info to rob@cigarfederation.com. If we don't get your info, then Rob's just going to go ahead and keep the cigars to himself or pick somebody else. So
yeah, right. Those cigars actually never get to my hands. Logan gets to send all this stuff out.
That's true.
I'm going to pick so who knows what Logan's going to do. I'm going to pick the random winners here. I'm going to pick Geppetto, just because why would I not pick a guy named Geppetto?
Awesome.
I'm going to pick I'm gonna pick. You know what? I'm gonna pick the nothing because we haven't picked Isaac in a while. I'm gonna pick the nothing. He's gonna win some. And Jimbo. And again, why would I not pick a guy named Jimbo? Okay, so those Jimbo, Geppetto, and Isaac, the nothing. You guys email me, Rob at Cigar Federation, with all your contact information, and we'll get those prizes out to you. And we'll probably have a few more giveaways up in the coming weeks with some featuring some Debonaire stuff. So that'll be exciting. Let's see. We've got you here for a few more minutes, Phil. I'm going to scroll through some of these questions. John, was there a question you wanted to get to that we didn't get to?
You know, there's just a quick, more of a personal request from Matthew Ty. And Phil, Matthew wants to know if you could please release a Petite Corona or Lancero with the Maduro wrapper.
Yeah, I have the Petite Lancero on the Maduro wrapper in Debonaire.
There we go.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh, very cool.
I mean, the line has Maduro and Habano, the core line, the 5 sizes.
Okay, cool. Well, there you go. That answers that question.
Winner! Yeah.
Yeah, winner, right? Let's see. Let me see if I can. Somebody wants to know which cigar you would pair with your peanut butter saltwater taffy. I'm telling you, man, don't sleep on that taffy. That stuff is legit. Whew.
Yeah.
I love saltwater taffy. I'm not a big sweet tooth guy, but I like sweet flavors in my cigars. I like sweet flavors in my spirits, but I'm not a big candy guy. But something about saltwater taffy.
Yes. It is a special thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so good.
I have a question for you, Phil, because you said you're not drinking, obviously. What do you tend to pair when you sit down and enjoy a cigar other than water? What is your kind of go-to?
Coffee, black coffee.
Yeah, that seems to be another thing. We were talking about that a little bit earlier. There's a couple of things. We talked about rum already. Rum and cigars are kind of a no-brainer hand-in-hand comparison or pairing. But coffee is the other one. And I mean, you could do anything you want to the coffee. You can put sugar in it. You can put cream in it. I'm more of a black coffee guy, but it's something about a coffee and cigar pairing. It's
beautiful.
Like it's supposed to happen. It's one of those things.
A good black Arabica bean coffee, espresso, is so one dimension of itself. It's just that real bitter, that taste, you know, that everything else is heightened by that. So when you drink that black coffee, your palate is so neutralized, you know, that when you smoke a cigar, all the nuances come out, you know, to me at least.
Yeah, no,
absolutely.
I've been just a strictly black coffee guy for I don't know a while now, and I remember the days when I would buy the Coffee Mate with the French vanilla, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, people enjoy that, and sometimes I'll put some cream and sugar in there, but for the most part, it's black coffee for me. I'm scrolling through a lot of these questions. I think we capped on most of them, so I think we'll let.
Do you want to talk a little bit about, because you said you had like 16 booths now for the IPCPR. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh,
yeah. I don't know what the booth numbers are, but it's gonna be really interesting because with the launch of Indian, I had to do something really iconic. So it's gonna be a giant Indian headdress logo, tank badge. It's gonna be humongous. Nice. And I designed it here. We have some in-house artists that are great that work for us. It's going to be the Debonaire booth's going to have in the rum section is going to have the famous wagon we put every year. The Debonaire cigar booth this year is going to be super, super image driven. All I can say. It's going to have the whole line. It's going to be featuring some of the stuff that we've done during the year, and it's going to just be more of a real elegant kind of relaxed Debonaire place where you can come and we can really talk about things, and see, meet people that have taken care of me over the years I've been doing this now, just to have fun and just a really relaxing atmosphere I'm trying to put together.
John, I think you were waiting for me to reply. I was waiting for you. But you see, the good news is this is
not supposed to be dead time.
There's no such thing as dead air. It's pensive air. I call it pensive air. We're really gathering our thoughts. We want to make sure we don't say something stupid. But we still say something stupid anyway. I'm glad we waited until the end to do that. But it is funny. John was waiting for me, and I was waiting for him. No, I'm excited. Looking forward to seeing you at the show.
Absolutely.
And thanks again for coming and hanging out with us, man. Really do appreciate it. And looking forward to now it's Indian Motorcycle
Ultra Premium.
Ultra Premium. Okay, Indian Motorcycle Ultra Premium. Because I want to
the Ultra Premium thing, but it's going to just be Indian Motorcycle. It's going to end up being Indian Motorcycle.
Indian Motorcycle, yeah.
You know, I know that. Or IMUP. You know what I mean?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Acronyms are good, yeah. So that's good. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to come. We'll visit you. Like I said, John and I are going to be there every day. We want to get as much of that rum as we can. So we'll be. And it's nice to that first thing in the morning, right after your coffee, get a nice sip of rum and just kind of mellows you out for the rest of the day.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it will, exactly. No, Phil, really do appreciate it, man.
Appreciate both of you. Thank you for the time. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your confidence. Really, thank you for everything. And just be blessed and debonair always. And you know, I'm humbled by all these people want to actually talk to me. It's just great, man. Thank you.
No, it's always a pleasure.
We had a lot of fun. It was, like John said, it's our pleasure. So we'll catch up with you in like 5 weeks now, 4 weeks in Orlando, or not Orlando. Why did I say Orlando?
New Orleans, Louisiana.
We're going to New Orleans.
Yeah. Big easy.
We were talking about New Orleans. I'm going to be there for like 10 days. Why did I say Orlando? Anyway. All right, guys. Thanks again for tuning in to another Cigar Chat. Really do appreciate your support. You can find us at CigarFederation.com. John is on Twitter. He is at Cigar Surgeon. I'm on Twitter at Robbie Raz. You can find at Cigar Federation is pretty much everywhere. We'll be back next week. We've got the folks from what did I just said it? Fratello Cigars coming up next week. So that'll be wow. We only have 3 shows left.
It's coming up fast, man.
Wow. Yeah, it is coming up fast. All right, guys, we'll catch you next week. Thanks again for all the support, and everybody have a great week. Stay safe.
Thank you.